Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Skytear Sundays. This week, it's going to be a Wacky format with smears against C-dubs, and I'm not alone here. My commentator today is Eric. Welcome.
How you doing, Zaraghul?
Yeah, what is going to happen here besides some pretty fancy sunglasses on the players? What else will we have to see today?
Yeah. So we've been doing Skytear Sunday with King of the Dome, and we had a scheduling conflict, so we couldn't keep that going. But instead of having nothing today, we threw out a question to our Skytear Sunday crew, and our own RGCommander's like, "Ooh, I have a great idea that he's been wanting to try out." And so for this Wacky Sunday, so we're taking a break from the other one, we are going to have it where each of these players is going to bring an outsider as one of their heroes. So if you can see the screen, you see that Shmiaz has brought the Terror of the Endless Night, and C-Dubs has brought the Silent Ambassador. They use the new stats, so Gulbjarn is the Terror of the Endless Night, but now we use the Terror of the Endless Night card. He works exactly like Gulbjarn does, except for the stats are changed, which actually these ones are the same. But also, whenever he worships, he gets to choose one of the 3 abilities on Terror of the Endless Night to use that also. So he is going to get to do a terrifying Nightmarish Roar, a Dreadful Majesty, or a Bloodlust. And he can use each of those once a game. And then on C-Dub's side, he's got this Silent Ambassador. And so not only did Ixatosk's stats change, because now he's ranged with 3 attack, less health and everything like that, less armor, but also whenever he does his pillar thing or does his thing where he gets to zip across the map, he'll get to Wormhole, Foresight, Farsight, or Stone Storm once during the game each of those times. So it'll be pretty exciting. So as we're talking about this, I'm going to go ahead and flip up their victory cards so they can know that they can start drafting over there, and then we can get started here. So it looks like Shmiaz chose to go first, and then Chris had the option of bringing any of the other 4 outsiders that were not one of these guys, and it looks like he chose to bring Lord of the Ancestors with him today. So we are going to be having Lord of the Ancestors go at it.
Yeah. The victory conditions, the only one that is showing up right now is Hunting for Power. Because of the other 2 victory conditions are 2 new victory conditions, Bloodlust.
Yeah, Bloodlust.
And the changed Siege victory condition card. So reduce the enemy towers down to a total of 4 HP or less.
Yep. And so yeah, if you notice, we have Bloodlust. That's a new card, which also means today we've gotten permission from Giacomo for them to be using the new cards. So there might be some HUD issues that are going to happen here because they aren't all coded right and everything ready for prime time, but they do have in their deck Breach cards. So we'll take a look at their decks later to see exactly what's going on there, but I know both of them have brought some number of Breach cards, so we get to see a little sneak peek into what the new meta is going to look like.
Yeah, I assume there somehow will be blood. I hope so, at least for RGCommander.
Yeah, his format, and then there's no blood. That would actually be kind of ironic.
That would really hurt him. So both players going for Siege, and then he's going to get another aspirin, I assume, because of another migraine, without me doing this segment actually here.
So we had Shmiaz going first. Looks like he drafted a street. So he has to draft the Terror of the Endless Night at some point, but he doesn't have to do it right away. But one of his 4 has to be Terror. But he went and chose Estrida as his first hero and put her in the left lane. And then to counter that, we have C-Dubs bringing right away the Ixatosk, aka the Silent Ambassador, along with Yami. So we've got a pair of people that are going to be able to, I think, push pretty well. I think the Silent Ambassador's ability can be used in that sense as well. And obviously Yami can do a lot of stuff, but also could be used for killing. I don't actually know what he's doing with this deck.
Yeah, depends on the options that he's bringing. We are going to show the decks somehow during the game. If there are any intermissions, then we try to pop them up and let you guys know what might be the possible options. Okay, so C-Dubs is going for a green-red party with Nelaklin, Tilakali, then the Silent Ambassador and Yami. So this seems to be a nice combination of control and some attack values as well. So Nalaklan is always a threat in the game because he can cast all the colors, all the card colors. And yes, we hate it when he does the rampant hatred and then warships again to do it again.
Yeah, so yeah, your bloodlust target probably is going to be Nalaklan, or he's the one that would probably pull it off, right? Being able to kill somebody twice with the same person, but also he's very fragile. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely with Takali, Ixatosk, and Yami, it definitely seems like those three characters are just asking to push, right? The whole Ixatosk Yami combo is really good at that, and then Takali just to hold the lane and stuff. And on the other side, we know Shmiaz is in love with his Leothan people. So I guess C-Dubs did not bring Vorhild. So either he didn't see anybody he wanted to ping or whatever, but he's very much a Talat deck. And on the other side, Shmiaz is 4 Leothan heroes and Nantaka. So we'll see if he chooses to bring Nantaka as that 4th hero or if he sticks with the mono Leothan group.
Yeah, I think bringing Nantaka could be difficult, especially on the lane number 1, for example, where Yami actually is. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to see Kordyov. Okay,
So
interesting.
he was debating very hard between Shilovy and Korjov there. So I guess he decided to have a mage of his own. So he'll keep Bloodluster hunting for power options alive there, I guess.
Yeah, and as promised by one of my kids, he's appearing in the chat. Oh god.
Awesome. Well, Zaraghul, he's right. You are cool.
Oh,
Your
thanks.
name rhymes with cool. Zaraghul the cool. Alrighty. So we've got it set up, and Shmiaz is going first here. And sometimes he goes fast, but maybe we should flip Shmiaz's deck up onto screen and see if we can get a peek at what he's trying to do here with Frail, Astrida, the Terrians, Knight, and Korjov.
Okay. Unfortunately, it's a bit small here. So I'm going to try to zoom in a bit.
Alrighty, so up top we've got Astrida. So let's look at her first, and then we'll zoom down to the other three guys.
Looks like there's Wind Blast.
2 new of the Speak with Spirits, which is going to be fun. 2 Heightened Senses, which I think is just a strong card, right? No matter what, it can cycle, but it also has the ability to predict, which can be very strong. And he even brought a Freeze on her, which I think is a fun one to bring on her, right? She can disarm somebody with her ability, and then be able to get that freeze in to just make him totally gone. But so she looks, and not surprisingly, like a very pushy type of character.
Okay,
so
we're going downwards.
Seems like, yeah, downwards. So Terra the Unslide, which he knew he had to bring. So these are probably the cards that he just loves the best. And we see there 3 Presences and 3 Sinkholes. No surprise there. 2 Chasms. Ooh, and a Strength over Pain. So Shmiaz has some idea that he wants to be able to frenzy with somebody. I wonder
going to switch to the other side because we missed the action on lane number 2. So Astrida moved out. Tried to attack a minion. And the reaction by Takali was a spawn pillar by Dreams of Talat to defend the minion.
Yes. But then he chose not to defend the thing?
Interesting.
Because it was flipped a psychic, or a +3. Yeah, we can say it here. This is not a top cut game.
Yes.
A psychic shield. And so he decided, no, that was too expensive. So he decided to go ahead and let the minion fall. Partly because Astrida, I don't know if it would change his mind, but Astrida did not worship in this case, right? So it was just a normal attack. So it was 5 damage or a minion gone, and Shmiaz was like, that's too high a cost. So he decided to let that one go.
Korjov brings Psychic Shields, Were Faith Falls, right? And Call the Weak.
Were Faith Falls and Call the Weak. Interesting. So those are both new cards. Faith Falls is just, I think, great on Leothan in general, right? Yellow Leothan characters can keep the worship on an extra turn while drawing a card. And then Cull the Weak. What is that one again?
Cull the Weak. I'm going to put it on screen. Just a second. There you go. Deal X damage to target enemy, where X is twice the number of conditions on the caster.
Aha. Well, that sounds cool with Korjoff, right? He worships himself. He gets the fast from that, right?
Yes.
There's like we talked about, the strength over pain. No, that can't be cast by him because that's only green casters. So I don't know how he's going to get frenzy on him. Oh, the terror of the endless night can give Korjoff frenzy
Yes.
one time. There you go. So there's his 6 conditions, and then he can do a 6 piercing damage attack with Korjoff. That sounds like very, very cheeky little thing to do there.
Okay. And last but not least, on Freihill, we see
healing cards,
yes.
and the new card, the Cooling Breeze, which heals an area. So more healing cards, and then 1 Speak with Spirits, which I think is going to be a strong card in blue decks. I think having those 3 options of disarm or worshiping yourself. And what was the third option on that card?
Give me a second.
Sure.
Find
and
out.
Then while you're finding that, Takali has moved up into lane 1 to counter the Astrida move. She has led, and she tacked a minion. So basically, Astrida and Takali are equivalent. They both led from hand, hopefully with 3s. They both killed a minion. So and one of them got a pillar down, but that was with a card. So basically, it's totally even on that lane.
Yeah. Speak with the spirits. Choose up to 2. Predict 2. Apply shapeshifted to a friendly hero within 3 hexes. Apply disarm to target enemy hero. So those are the 3 options with Speak with the Spirits.
3 things. And so that's good again with the freeze, and just disarm in general is good. Getting that worship action for free is always nice, and then predict can be great. Or even if you just don't have anything else to do, predicting just to sift your cards can be helpful in a lot of situations. So I think it's going to be a very versatile card.
Yeah, Cooling Breeze, heal the caster and each hero hit. X HP, where X is twice the number of conditions on the caster.
And so with Frail, you're going to get the worship on her for sure. And now you have that worship on her. Guess what? That healing is going to be able to do damage to the enemy and heal your friend. So I mean, that could be a huge swing if there's ever a blob fight or anything like that. Frail can do a lot of damage with that card and heal a lot. I mean, just a lot of HP swing.
All going to be crazy. And we know that Smears really likes to stack healing cards to just 100 to 0 enemy heroes.
And in this case, we have Hunting for Power out there, so it also might be a possible way to take out that Lord of the Ancestors that's going to be coming down at some point.
And this is in this special Wacky format, I think this is even crazier because you're using outsiders to kill outsider.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty awesome. The outsiders are fighting each other.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so in the action, we see Frail going to lane. She attacked a minion, and Takali took the damage because she flipped a 0, so it took 2 damage on Takali. And then she shapeshifted herself. So she's already getting set up to heal some people or attack some people or something like that next turn using that piercing damage. So, Beothan in general like to be set up with a bunch of people with their shapeshift abilities on them.
Absolutely. Okay, now Lachlan is going to move out into lane number 1. He is going to protect the minions for Tlakali with the pillar there. And what could be his last action? Maybe a lead, for example, so that you can already push or at least put some pressure on the lane. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's the lead. And it's interesting, right? I would have expected, since Takali already used the dreams on the one side, there was a little opening there for Shmiaz to at least kill a minion on lane 1 before that other pillar came down, whereas now he can't, right? So, but Frail decided to go over to lane 2, so he wants to push there, and then Lachlan actually crossed the other side. So I think we're going to have a situation where both sides are pushing their left pretty hard, which is going to make siege difficult. So I don't know if we're going for some Nexus stuff here, or if they're just buying time while they wait for a Bloodlust or something to happen.
Smears is going to use his worship ability.
Boom.
With the outsiders, so I'm going to put up the Terror of the Endless Nights.
Yes.
He's using number 3, which is Bloodlust. Apply Frenzy to target adjacent friendly hero. So we now see, as you predicted, a Kodjov who's worshipped and has Frenzy.
So
He's
if
shapeshifting Frenzy.
Korjov, yeah, he's going to have Worship, Frenzy, and that means when he activates, he's going to have Fast. So he's already going to have 6 conditions. So Cull the Weak already looks great, but if he has Where Faith Falls, he can keep all 3 of those things on him for turn after turn after turn. And, just being able to move 5 and attack for 5, or attack for 6, I guess, because you're melee. But a move 5 and attack for 6, that seems like a really strong Korjov. So this is really fun. I like this use of the
Absolutely.
terror.
He's
So,
going
but let's
to have
get back to.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so let's get back to what just happened there. So, Shmiaz has used the worship ability on the outsider that he has. That means now he can no longer use that ability the rest of the game. So, basically, Bloodlust is now used up. He can still in the future use the Nightmarish Roar or Dreadful Majesty, but he's used the Bloodlust. He did not have to use any of those 3 things. He could have saved and just done regular worship and saved them for later, but he chose to use it now.
And I think he tried to attack the minion, and C-Dubs is now thinking about what he's going to do. I didn't see the flip. Might be one of the new cards, so it didn't appear on screen.
It was an alt. Alts have problems in this mod also. So it was a Astrida alt. So Astrida's alt isn't coming down anytime soon. But yeah, 6, 5 was too much for Takali. 6 also was too much for Takali.
Yes,
She's
absolutely.
like, yeah, I don't love my minions that much.
They're nice to have, but 6 damage is too much. Yeah, absolutely. So she would have been down to 8 HP, and this brings her in range, in kill range. Absolutely.
Yep.
This is, I mean, Takali is able to protect minions quite easily, and from everywhere on the battlefield, but it's at a price. And this price is her HP in the end, and this is a high value that you always have to spend. So you always think twice about that, for sure.
Yep. And so already 3 minions got attacked, and the frail one that flipped to +0, he decided to block, right? So he got the good value out of there of only taking the 2 damage, which I think is totally reasonable.
Yep.
And then he just hopes that later on they will get some more bad flips. But round 1 is kind of where you really hope they flip bad to just get the ball rolling on the lane pushing, right? Ooh, we have a stone barricade that came down from Nalochlin.
Ooh, because
and is that to block a Korjov activation, maybe?
No, I think it's going to be the Ixatosk.
Aha, Ixatosk.
Yeah.
So we had one outsider activate. Now we have the other outsider activate. And Yami gets to go over a minion and end up back on top. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Yeah, it's you destroy the pillar, and looks like he placed the pillar in the same space again.
Oh yeah, that's right. He can do that. Yep.
Yeah, because if you wouldn't do so, then it would have been a blocking element.
So this is interesting. So, I mean, I totally understand putting Yami where he did because Korjov is scary now, right? He's got fast, he's got frenzy, he's going to go and do some damage, and I would be scared if I was Nalochlin also. But he put Yami there to kind of protect that easy space for Korjov, but then he decided to put, and remember, Silent Ambassador is not Ixatosk. This is a person with less hit how many hit points now? 18 hit points, which actually is more, I guess, but only 1 armor. So, it's an interesting variation of Ixatosk, but I kind of like, we get to see Ixatosk in one of her forms, right? Turning into the Silent Ambassador here.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did decide to not use one of the Silent Ambassador outsider special abilities. So just worshipping and driving. Oh, no, he is using it.
Using number 2. He said number 2.
Okay.
Foresight, predict 2. Okay, so getting the predict out there. Yep. And I agree. I mean, these games might not last to turn 4, so why save this ability, right? So you get to keep 1 card on top and both cards on top. So he liked what he saw there. Very nice.
Okay.
So does this mean Yami is flipping off of this? Yes, this must be the Yami flip. And he flipped a chasm, so he's not needing the card or maybe he has 2 3s on top, but a chasm was good enough. I don't know. We haven't looked at his deck yet. Oh, and then he led with the other one. So I'm going to say pretty confidently that's a 3 mana card right there.
And the last action will be an attack against a minion.
Right, because Silent Ambassador is ranged, so he can do that.
Mhm.
So yes, so Chris definitely looks like he has a strong advantage in this lane. And he still can activate Yami to go to Dome if he wants to, because he gets to go last. And Korjoff now has to decide what he wants to do. Does he want to try and keep lane 1 back? I don't know. Going to the Dome seems bad. I mean, he's a damage dealing machine. He's ready to go and hit somebody, I think, right? And so yes, he's got his fast on him now. He's activating. What is his target? Is he going to run over after Takali? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
Might be a skirmish. And then
skirmish, no target. Yep. So man, everybody's pushing these lanes really hard. And Takali is going to be taking a 6 attack. Have you seen a 6 attack on turn 1 before? I mean, I guess it happens with Strength over Pain, but that card doesn't get played very much. So, flipping a Where Faith Falls. So, yeah, if Takali had saved one of those minions right now, she'd be on the brink of death.
What was the flip value?
+1. So Where Faith Falls.
So
okay, yeah. 7 damage.
Nope. He's at 4.
He's 4 plus 2 for the frenzy.
Ah yes, +2. So 6,
so
7. Yeah, she's down to 7. Yeah. It's
and
all
so
right.
That's a card that Smeals really would have loved to have in hand if it Where Faith Falls, because he could have kept all that stuff on Korjoff there. But
yeah, absolutely.
He's going to have to find another way. Alrighty, so what does Yami do? Doesn't seem like she needs to stay in lane, so she can just win the outsider for free, it looks like. Or try and come over and harass Korjoff.
Shall we have a look at Sidup's deck?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
While he's thinking about his Yami turn, let's go see what cards Yami's got on her.
Push it real good.
Push it real good. Well, now we know. He's trying to push, and he has been doing that in that lane 1 already. So if we zoom in on Yami's cards, we've got some interesting stuff here. We've got Down to Earth. It's one of the new cards, and he's got 3 copies of it. Man, I forgot what Down to Earth does, and I can't zoom in on that good enough to see what it is.
Yeah, it won't appear as good, so that we won't see the text, but I can put it on screen later.
Cool.
So Down to Earth. What else? Ixatosk is built with Presence, Sinkhole, Topple, if I see
Topple,
correct.
yep.
I think that's Topple.
Yep.
Then we have Takali with Ambura Ride, Stone Barricade, Chasm, and Jotlan Hungers?
Zotlin Hunger, the new one that you blow up a pillar that's adjacent to you and do 2 damage to everybody adjacent to that pillar.
And Nelaklen with Sinkholes, Chasms, another Topple, Rampant Hatred, Sudden Distraction, Wind Blast, and Ice Wall. Okay.
Alrighty, so this definitely looks like a push deck. I mean, you've got some fancy things, but Zotlin Hunger can be used for attacking heroes or just other minions. It does that as well.
Yep.
But just in general, we've got, triple Presence, triple Sinkhole on both sides, triple Chasm on both sides. So, these are going to be kind of mirror-y in what they're trying to do, and already they both decided to push the lane. And then back to the action, Yami ran across and attacked Korjoff, and then zipped back to the dome in order to get the outsider there.
Makes sense. So we see a hard push on lane 1 for C-dubs.
Yep.
Putting the control token adjacent to the tower.
The other side is going to be a win by 2, because he has 2 extra heroes. Yeah, it looks like they're putting the token under Korjoff. Trying to get it away from that pillar if possible.
Yep.
Oh, no. Smeals doesn't want that. He's going to put it by the pillar. He doesn't care. He's going to kill Takali if she dares to save another minion, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then our third outsider is going to come into the fray. We've got the Lord of the Ancestors.
There you go. Let's
So
see what is going to happen.
I was about to say the Terror of the Endless Light is all by himself over here in this lane, but I'm thinking he's about to get a. Nope. Shmiaz doesn't care about his Nexus. He's just going to keep pushing. Alrighty.
Hmm.
So this is interesting to me because if you kill minions off, you have less things for Strida to do, right? But Shmiaz has a plan. He's not worried about his lane 1. Did he just... I'm sorry, this is Chris. Chris is saving his lane. I am confused. Sorry.
Absolutely.
This makes a lot of sense.
Chris is defending his lane, so he might be spawning a minion and then moving the control token, maybe.
Yeah,
So he did attack a minion. So they are now equal.
Moving the control token doesn't do very much. Maybe he does a skirmish on Korjov at the end just to get a little bit of value there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some chip damage.
Although maybe he wants to keep the outsider in that bush because hunting for power is a thing, and you just put that guy next to Frail and Korjov, and we just saw how much damage Korjov can do.
Mm-hmm.
Outsider skill number 1 on the guy is
Invoke.
the spawn from the minion. Okay. Yeah, so he did that. Attack and invoke. And what do you want to do with his third action? Moving the control hex doesn't do much for you unless you have a trample or a guide in your deck, which we know he doesn't. Or if he really thinks he's going to win next turn by like 1 or something.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but skirmish doesn't make sense, as you said. So now he's with the Lord. He's in a bush, in a cover hex, and this is a good choice. Okay.
He's just gonna
moving adjacent to Korjov. Do you want to do this? This is...
He's not scared.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what happens here is if Korjov attacks him, he can move to get closer over to his friends over in lane 1, maybe. Or not.
Let's say into the dome,
friend,
even.
But
yeah,
or into the dome, right? Get away from those guys. So, but the question then is, why did he put him in the spot originally, right? He probably should have put it a little bit closer this way to start with, but maybe he realized that after the fact.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Korjov is going to activate.
On to round 2.
Yes. I was about to say that we are still in round 1. So will Korjov now attack Trakali, or will he go for the outsider? The thing is, Freihael is still too far away.
Yep. Yeah, so even if she has her combo of a bunch of healing cards, she's not in a position to do it. I mean, feels like you want to activate Korjov for the... Yeah, she's just going to try and take out Takali. That makes sense.
Yep. So this is a 3+. No, 4+. He worshipped himself. Okay. Oh, looks like she's dead. So 3 was flipped. And that's a dead Trakali and no more protection for the minions. So this means it's funeral time. For Trakali.
Oh, I see. It was Korjov's ult that was flipped. Sorry, I was lagging a little bit. Yes. Wow.
No problem.
That's a lot of 3s that Shmiaz has flipped so far. So on the good side, it means things are dying. On the bad side, it means he's not getting his ults on turn 3. Alrighty, and so now, yep, they put the Korjov token on the Bloodlust. So now Korjov is a very, very scary person, because if Korjov kills anybody else, Shmiaz wins. Also, I should note, at the end of last turn, Yami did a bunch of damage to Korjov. Right before the end of the turn, Shmiaz used a Nourish to heal him back up 3. So he's at 13, so he's not doing too bad right now. But one of the ways to combat Bloodlust is to kill the guy that, like, if you kill Korjov now, then that takes that victory condition off the table for a while, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's definitely something with the Yami and a Nalaklan that Chris has to at least be considering.
Yeah, and this could now be a good consideration because Freihael is too far away from Korjov.
Right.
So no healings incoming. Yeah. I mean, he still has 2 mana left, so he could heal himself.
Sure.
What's going to be the last action? A lead.
Going to lead. Alrighty. So Korjov doesn't think he's dying. Well, it's a lead from deck, so maybe he's okay with dying.
Lead from deck, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not okay, but a lot of times if I think my character might die, I really don't want to lead from hand because it just gives them more incentive to go after him, right? So I might lead from deck, and then maybe Frail or Estrita is going to lead from hand later anyway, depending again on what Miles is trying to do here. So yeah.
Yeah, fair point.
Don't see siege happening this game. So I think, I mean, hunting for power can always happen. Bloodlust is obviously on the table for Korjov, and Nexus, I think both people are threatening Nexus pretty good here.
Yeah, this is not going into RGCommander's favor.
He got blood on round 2. He's got to be happy about that.
At least. Just a little bit.
One of the benefits of going second is that you get to go last, but with that opening kill on round 2 means that C-Dubs does not get to go last, which is going to be annoying.
Okay, and Lachlan is going to push the lane instead of just killing Korjov. Interesting.
Yep. Well, I mean, killing Korjov wasn't going to be easy, right? Like we said, you know, he's already thrown a healing card, so, you know, I think also remember the name of Chris's deck is push it real good. So I think this is his win condition is to get through this lane and then get the Nexus. And as long as he keeps Lachlan away from Korjov, then the double kill is not, or the bloodlust is not a possibility. But man, keeping away from Korjov is tough, right? Because if somebody worships him, he gets fast, so he can really get across that map quickly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and where do you put that pillar? This is, you don't need to put it close to the minions. Okay, Akali is going to come back next round. So this could be helpful on the next round if you destroy the tower and then push against the Nexus. Okay.
Right. So I mean, here's the thing with all these pillars: we have Unburial Rites, obviously, that's the old card, but we also have a Zotlin Hunger and a Topple, right? And so these pillars placements, I mean, they were important before, and you know that was the difference between good Talot players and okay Talot players, is knowing exactly where to place them and thinking turns ahead. But now with all these new little tools that you have, figuring out where that topple is going to be useful or where that Zotlin Hunger is going to be able to do the most damage is going to be really key to good Talot players, I think.
So if, for example, he's going to worship with the Silent Ambassador as well, so then we are going to see 4 pillars and 4 additional minions. Because I don't remember having Smios bringing any spawning counter cards.
Correct. True. So yeah, this could very easily be an Unburial Rites here for 4. Yep.
For example, and then we saw Topple. So you remove a pillar. Doesn't need to be a friendly pillar. This is really interesting, even to counter Tarload players. Remove friendly pillar on the battlefield, and then an enemy hero adjacent to the removed pillar is pushed 1 hex away from that pillar, and you apply slow to that hero. So you can even destroy any placements, for example.
Yep.
And
and so if the terror stays where he is, you can do stuff like, well, I don't know. It'll have to be next turn, right? Because he doesn't have the flux, but you could like end up toppling and then sinkholing him away or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably more likely this is just setting up for Unburial Rites, right? I mean, running the Lachlan up here, you've got to think, if he doesn't have an Unburial Rites, I think Shmiaz can at least hold the tower. And Shmiaz knows, no, Frail's going to the middle, not going to lane. Well, this will be interesting.
Yeah, Shotland Hungers could be interesting as well. If you remove a pillar and then deal damage to all enemies adjacent to the removed pillar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is Fire going to do? She's
So it
going
looks like
to...
she's going into the dome. So she wants to get the other outsider back. And so now the question is she getting that back to help counter push this lane? Like if he doesn't have Unburial Rights, I think Shmiaz is okay, right? He'll lose some towers. He could bring the outsider over here and help push
Yes,
it back with the terror and that guy and probably be okay. And then Kordjov will have enough time to get another kill, right?
that's true.
If he
That's true.
loses the tower this turn, I almost wonder if he just goes for hunting for power because
Yeah. You mean you bring the the Lord of the Ancestors in a position that Kordjov or, for example, even Freihill could kill one shot. That could be possible. So, did Freihill lead from deck or from hand? Hello? Whoops, I think we lost Eric, as he also disconnected from the game. Okay. So I can't see right now where Freihill did lead from, but it would make sense to lead from hand. Maybe. Yeah, I think Smears was at 8 cards. Now we are going to see the Silent Ambassador going to activate and Warship. So might be using one of the outsider abilities, which I assume is going to be the Storm Barricade or a wormhole, one of those two options. So that you either change the position of the Terror of the Endless Nights, or you're going to deal some damage and slow him. So at least C-Dubs is going to place a pillar, which now with 4 pillars, as we were talking about that, Unburial Rights is going to be really, really in reach now, or even more possible in this case. Okay, outsider ability number 3 is the Storm Barricade. Place the AoE within 2 hexes, deal 1+ damage, and apply slow to all enemy heroes hit. Yeah. And a move. Second action. Why do you move? Oh yeah, I could assume you want to reposition the Silent Ambassador first before you cast Unburial Rights. Because now in this situation, oh yeah, Smears is going to react with the Flux. And he is going to play. What is he going to play? A Chasm maybe? I'm going to zoom out. A Sinkhole. Okay. He's going to play a Sinkhole with the Terror of the Endless Nights, and then therefore trying to keep the Silent Ambassador inside or at the position that she now is. Maybe to keep away from the control token. So if you would now try to cast Unburial Rights, you could even be pushed by Chasm. Oh no, Chasm isn't an option, as the Flux has been used. So Sinkhole. Where do we have the Sinkhole? It's always hidden in my stream deck. So there you go. Place the AoE on target hex within 2 hexes. You may move each hero hit 1 hex. These heroes must end any movement effects in the AoE.
Zaraghul, I'm back.
Yeah, finally. Internet died.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So C-Dubs was using the Silent Ambassador, and he warshipped to place another pillar, which looks like he's going for the Ambura Rights. Maybe I missed the Ambura Rights even. I'm going to have a look. No, he didn't play it until now. So he just wanted to move closer. I assume he wanted to move closer to the control token. And Smears reacted with the Flux and is now pinging the target hex, I assume, for the sinkhole.
So is this
Oh,
so
yes.
is this in response to the worship, or the worship already happened?
The worship happened.
Okay, got it. So he did not try and use Ixatosk's ability to get away. He's here to do. Oh yes. So now if he has some burial rights, he can't play it. Aha. Very nice. So why not wait until he plays the burial rights though? What was?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Oh,
I was wondering about that because this seems to be still inside the AOE of the sinkhole. I mean, if they had used the AOE, which is available, then everybody knew about where it is exactly. But yeah, in this position, Ambura Rights is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't see any way to prevent this finally.
Sure. And we say Outsider 3 got happened. So Stone Storm happened. Ah, that's why the terror is slowed.
Yeah,
okay.
Against terror. So there's another Dreams of Tarlord played by
Nalachlin. Yep.
Nalachlin,
So
yeah,
this
makes sense.
really looks like an Burial Rights, and there it is. Burial Rights by the Silent Ambassador. Oh, Ixatosk. Yep, and there go the pillars. He's doing all 5 of them, or just 4? All 5. Well.
So that was, yeah. I don't know if it was a good decision to. Yeah.
I mean, I think he must have thought the white line or was something blocking, or he couldn't get around, or something like that. Is my only guess as to why he did that at that point. But now Shmiaz is definitely up against it, because I do not see a world in which a Streeta can get over there and save this lane.
Yes.
I think this tower is going down, and then I was saying before, I don't know that there's much that Shmiaz has to defend the Nexus, but he does have Wind Blasts on Astrida. So Astrida or Kordjov could go over there and Wind Blast next turn to keep the game moving into round 4 or turn 4 possibly.
Yeah, next turn. So yeah, without the Flux now actually, and the sinkhole didn't have the value that I think that Smears was expecting.
And then we got a lead from hand from Our Lady Ixatosk.
Wow.
I don't think I mean, not that Astrida can really get over there, but I don't think Shmiaz is running any shoves or anything like that to push her out of there if he could. I mean, yeah. And if he let him move, I mean, surely Chris would have moved close enough to the token that the sinkhole would have done nothing. So maybe he was just hoping Chris made a mistake or something. I'm not sure. Oh, he changed it to a lead from deck, by the way. So he picked the card up, put it back in his hand, and so now she is leading from deck instead of from hand.
Yeah, but which is totally okay.
Sure. I mean, yeah, again, this is seemingly overwhelming, right?
2, 4, 6, 8 minions against 2. Wow.
Against 1 minion, right?
Sorry, 1 minion, yeah.
1 minion, a hero. So it'll be 7 though, right? I mean, the Terra can kill 1 for sure. Oh, she's just going to keep pushing. Okay. So I don't know how Shmiaz is going to keep from losing Nexus. Maybe she's going to start just chipping damage on the Outsider? That might not be the worst idea. Like if he's just all in on hunting for power. So you attack the Outsider, then you skirmish on the Outsider going into the Outsider's going to run away. But you attack and then you skirmish into the dome so you can win the dome and release the Outsider next turn. That seems reasonable to me.
Yep. Okay, rethinking the move. Or the positioning, the final position of the move, okay.
Okay, so she is not going after the outsider. She is going to...
What's going to happen?
What's happening?
Is there a card being played or something? No.
So she worshipped, I guess? But somehow we're pinging on Astrida, or on Yami. I don't know why. Okay. Anyway, so we've worshipped and now we're attacking. So yeah, he's just keeping his pushing going on. There goes the call of the week.
Yeah, but okay, Yami got disarmed, but I don't remember how this did happen in the end.
Huh. Astrida didn't play a card. Oh,
Was
Frail played
within...
Speak with Spirits. Oh, so the worship, Frail played Speak with Spirits, which allowed Astrida to get marked, or not marked, but worshipped, and also disarmed Yami. So Astrida moved, then Speak with Spirits, then the attack. So Astrida still has one more action. She did not worship herself. That's why all the pinging on Yami happened.
Okay, makes sense.
These fun new cards.
There it is. So apply Shapeshift to a friendly hero within 3 hexes. Therefore,
so didn't need to target.
Yeah, okay. Now I understand why he did put Astrida into the cover hex to be within 3 and then apply disarm to target enemy hero. Yeah, makes totally sense.
Yep. And so now Yami has a choice. If Astrida stays out in lane, Yami can either try and tie the dome or try and save that lane. I don't know which is more important.
Yeah, difficult. Depends on the victory condition, right? So
yeah.
There still might be the option for Korjov, do another kill next round and therefore win by Bloodlust, or you could try to kill the outsider, as you said.
Yeah. And so in both those cases, I think you'd rather tie the...
And to worship on Korjov, I think. He is now
worship on Korjov. Yep.
Yeah.
He's shaped, so he'll have his fast next turn. Maybe find a call of the week or something to help finish off the outsider or Yami.
Mm-hmm.
Again, getting over to... I mean, Lachlan's a juicier target, but so far away, right?
That's true.
So, I mean, if Yami stays in the dome and ties the dome, I guess you can't guarantee a tie the dome. Actually, if you stay in the dome, then the terror just comes in the dome probably to win the dome, because, like we said, Shmiaz is already losing this lane. There's no reason for the terror to stay over here unless he thinks he's going to save it next turn.
No, it doesn't make sense. Or you do some damage to Nelaklan maybe to prepare him to die in the next round, but he's too far away, right? Oh, I mean, with a fast, still difficult because Korjov is now a melee hero. Then next round, makes
so
it more
you do
difficult.
get to go first next round. So if you can do some damage to Yami, this is weird. So let's say Yami stays in the dome. The Terror can go do some damage to Yami. Shmiaz could win the dome. Then the Lord of the Ancestors could do a little bit of damage to Yami, I guess. And then Korjov could come and maybe finish her off. But man, going after Yami does not seem like the easiest thing to do, because if you miss, she's gone, right?
Absolutely.
All right, she's worshipping, so she is getting out of there. That makes sense. Yeah, so he's just giving up lane 2. He thinks he's gonna win lane 1 before he loses lane 2. And so he's just going to put all his eggs in this basket and also stay as far away from Korjov as possible, because that Birdman is scary. A little bit of chip damage to Frail for fun. That I don't think really matters. And Yami is over here but cannot trample a minion because that minion is protected by a wall of Chris's minions. Not that it really matters.
And a lead.
And
from
a
deck,
lead, another lead from deck. Yeah, I guess. So he has just nothing else to do. He doesn't want to attack the... Yeah, he's as far away from Korjov as he can get.
The thing is, as well as he's far away from the Terror of the Endless Knights, so that he can't use his outsider ability right now.
Very good. Yep. That's true. The Terror does get to push and slow somebody, so if the Silent Ambassador is Korjov's target, maybe you push her into the dome do some damage to her and push her into the dome.
Yeah, but you
Get yourself in the dome, win the Lord of the Ancestors, attack again. Man, it'd be really good if you get Nalaklan into the dome. Oh, you can. You do the disarm Nalaklan, throw him over your shoulder in the dome, go into the dome, attack, and then the Lord of the Ancestors can come in, attack Nalaklan a bit, and then Korjov can go and finish Nalaklan off. First action. Maybe that's a way. But, you know, sinkhole and stuff can really mess that up. So I think Chris might have counterplay to that.
We're going to see an attack.
Shmiaz sees the attack at least. Okay. Oh, flipped another +3 silent or psychic shield. So that's down to 8.
Ouch. So you want to have Nalaklan inside the dome?
I think you disarm him and throw him inside the dome, and then you skirmish your. Yeah, here's the worship. Okay. So I assume he's worshiping Frail, because why not?
Yeah.
He's definitely throwing in, and he gets to worship somebody.
Using the Dreadful Majesty. Place target hero adjacent to the Terror of the Endless Night and apply disarm to them. So Nalaklan is disarmed.
I'm sitting there.
And, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just funny, right? And yes, he does worship Frail. But I was like, we really need to somehow get Nalaklan in the dome. And I'm like, there's no way to do that. But here it is. The outsider ability is exactly what Shmiaz needed.
This is really wacky.
Yeah, right. All right. And now he's got to go into the dome to win it. No, he's already got... Nalaklan's not leading. So Frail's already got that dome won. So... Yeah.
Does she lead from deck or from hand? It's not shown in the overlay, so...
he didn't lead, but it doesn't help to lead, right? I mean, you're going to lose the tower anyway.
No, I mean Freiherr. Did Freiherr lead
Frail.
from hand?
Frail led from hand. From hand, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm using the
more...
more...
point. He's skirmishing just to get into dome to make sure, I guess. Okay. So here's the thing, that Lord of the Ancestors is going to have to spawn next to a Shmiaz minion. And it's melee. I don't even know if it can get over to do any damage to Nalaklan, actually.
Okay, this is the tower.
Okay, tower is gone, yep.
Wow.
Led with a rampant hatred there. All right, well, we know how Chris is winning because he's pushing it real good.
He needs to reposition this minion first, yeah. Put it on the... control token. Hello. What's it doing?
As long as he puts one there.
It still needs to put the first one there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, do it. Do it. There you go.
Alrighty, so Astrida and a Wind Blast, I don't even know if that's enough to save that lane. Okay, Korjov is leading over here for 3. So what are we at here? 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. Did I miss something? Was there a presence?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. 8 against 2 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems to be a miscalculation then. Okay. We lost you again. Maybe.
Am I gone?
I don't know. It's bloop. No. You're still here. I would think so. It's a miscalculation.
Yeah, but I also don't think it matters. Like, I think Chris needs to win this turn on Nexus. So whatever happens over there is just not relevant.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Where are you going to put a lot of the ancestors?
Yeah, you should totally have spawned that guy closer over here. 1, 2, 3. Because now, if you put him one over, it's good enough, right? Move, skirmish, gets to Nalaklan. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, spawn a minion. Move.
Nope. Move.
And what else?
Skirmish into Nalaklan and attack Nalaklan. This is going to be...
No, this is not going to work. Yeah. So outside, those are 3 actions. Yeah. Yeah, okay, and then he's going to try to 100 to 0 the outsider with Freiherr.
Really? Okay. I thought Kordjov and Lachlan's better, but he knows his deck. So 19 hit points, huh?
Yeah, I mean, now two options are there. The obvious
Sure. Yeah,
option
that's true.
for C-dubs is the Nexus. I mean, it's 10 minions there. Wow. You don't need to
Yeah.
stay in that lane. You
Yeah.
just
I think that
can, yeah, put all the
you
heroes inside the dome, for example.
So why right next to Frail? I guess you attack and then Frail's just going to respond with all the healing. And the only person that can cast to help there is Nalaklan.
I mean, Takadi still needs to spawn somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you put her over. Well, I was going to say put her over by Kordjov so you can cast a Sinkhole if he goes with Kordjov to keep Kordjov over there, maybe.
Makes sense, yeah.
Because Kordjov then would be melee and wouldn't be able to attack Takali, and so couldn't get the Bloodlust that way. Okay, so we are activating Kordjov, which makes sense.
Yeah, but still we need to spawn Takali.
Oh, yeah.
Could you just ping Takali maybe?
So it looks like Astrida is playing a Speak with Spirits.
Oh, come on. Totally did forget. Okay, another Speak with the Spirits. Okay.
Yeah, so that is Predict, and did he just worship on Kordjov? Was Kordjov worship before?
He was. Astrida
okay.
did worship him. Yeah.
So we are just predicting, and I guess worshiping herself, I guess. And yeah, he flipped a +1 and a +0 into the discard. So remember all those 3s Shmiaz had earlier? He's looking for some more +3s and has not found them.
Yeah.
And
what's he going to do?
She now played Where Faith Falls. Target hero conditions cannot be removed unless that hero is defeated. Draw a power card. I wonder.
Astrida did play that.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
And I assume targeting Kordjov. So Kordjov is going to get to remain fast if somehow this goes to another round. Again, I don't see how that's happening unless there's a lot of Wind Blast in our future, and Astrida just used up her mana, so I don't think that's what's happening here. So C-Dubs has 7 cards, so he has as many. I mean, I guess the problem is he only has 3 mana in the dome to save either the outsider or Nalaklan. And then he gets another turn. He can run somebody else in the dome to try and save the other one, right? Or I guess the only person he's worried about, yeah. Okay, Kordjov is going after Nalaklan. Okay.
Yeah, looks like
so, Nalaklan, can you save yourself? Oh, now I know why you didn't want the outsider there, because that would have stolen Kordjov's spot. Okay.
Seems to be an attack.
Seems to be an attack.
He's
no, it's a
with
skirmish. I guess it's a skirmish. Okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Shmiaz. Move first, yep. And then... Now he's thinking. So Kordjov has all of his mana. The flux isn't there, so he has 3 mana. If he does have Cull the Weak, that's a 4 damage zap spell, right? I think it is an action. I don't think it's a reaction, so he has to do it during Kordjov's turn.
Cull the Weak is a reaction.
Oh, it is a reaction. Okay.
Cull the Weak is a reaction.
Looks like Frail just cast a sacrifice. Yes, to do 4 damage to Nalaklan.
Ooh. Nalaklan is casting a chasm. Targeting his own hex.
Yeah. Oh, so he waited for the attack action. I see. So he wanted the attack action to be on the stack first. So this is really Nalaklan's shot. So does
Freiherr have another healing spell maybe?
another healing spell, or I guess she can't afford to cast her own sinkhole anymore because she just used up 1 mana. She only has 2 mana left.
I mean, Korjov could now play Call the Weak, as it's a reaction it would resolve before the Chasm.
That's true, and that would be 4 damage. Yep.
Yeah.
That would be quite the way to end this.
What's happening?
Maybe he's choosing the Korjov spot as the Hex instead, which I think is smarter because otherwise Korjov could have reacted with a Chasm of his own, pushed them both into the dome, and then I don't think Chris's Chasm could get Nalaklan away from Korjov because he'd have to push, and you can only push him next to Korjov anyway. So I think this is a smarter location for that Chasm spot. Okay, the Terror is casting a Sinkhole, which is going to keep everybody inside an area. So I think, are we centering it on that? I think that's a bad place to center it. Yeah, please get the
No, you
template out.
just target that hex. You don't need to center it there.
Correct. Yeah, so I think the center should go on Korjov here, right? And then you... Oh, Takali's playing a Sinkhole of her own. And that's going to pull the Terror out, so that would make the Sinkhole fizzle. What a stack we've got going here.
Oh, come on. Wow.
So the stack isn't up to date. I think it's probably because of how Shmiaw's built his deck. His Sinkholes aren't actually going on the stack. But so right now we've got a Sinkhole, and then a Chasm, then an attack on the stack.
So the Sinkhole would pull, depending on the location.
So he targeted the Forest Hex. Yeah, so you could just pull Nalaklan out, but then that would mean his Chasm would fizzle. I don't know if that's good or not.
You could even, depending on the positioning, you could even put Tlaakali inside the dome as well.
Oh yes, you could. Oh yeah, but she doesn't have any more mana. But yeah, you could. But you could also arrange it so that you bring out the Terror and Nalaklan into the bushes, and that's the only stuff that's allowed to go there. And then you have Korjov, who would be inside the Sinkhole area and I don't think would have any way to see Nalaklan. So I think if Shmiaz has the Call of the Week or some other trick from Frail and Korjov, this is when he has to use it.
Yep. Okay, I'm curious how they're going to resolve this.
Yeah. I mean, this was interesting, right? Because both Takali and the Silent Ambassador could have cast that Sinkhole, and they could have used it instead of Nalaklan to pull him out. So in response to the sacrifice, I feel like maybe pulling Nalaklan out might have been a better thing to do. But maybe then he's worried about Shmiaz going after the outsider. This is fascinating.
Yeah, this is... those are the thoughts behind, maybe. Yeah. And you have to consider that you... What now?
Chasm from Korjov. We have a Chasm, Sinkhole, Chasm attack on the stack now. And he is targeting the Terror's location.
Okay.
I'm just going to stop guessing what's happening here and just let him tell me when it's figured out. So if you get the Terror away from where Takali can grab it.
Okay, so you do it this way.
But now the attack fizzles, right? Or is he going to be able to bring them back together later?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
How's this?
Okay, so it looks like the Chasm resolved. So now we've got Chris's Sinkhole, and I really hope they use the template.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so that makes sense. That's like the only place you can put it to do anything, unless you want to bring Takali in, which I don't think is helpful. Yeah, I don't see it. So, I mean, this really neutered Chris's Sinkhole, right?
And it was...
that's allowed.
That's allowed.
What
that's allowed.
Can you do? What do you do with the Terror? So the terror can never leave this hex. If somebody else gets pushed into this hex, they can also never leave. Is that a true statement?
He can never leave.
Each hero hit one hex. Those heroes must end their movement effects inside the AoE.
Yes.
Okay, so no. So only the terror is going to be stuck inside this hole.
Which makes sense. Okay, he resolved it like this without moving the outside, the terror, maybe.
Okay, he's putting it there.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, and so now they've got another one. So here we go.
Don't move him. Yeah. I wouldn't move the Terror of the Endless Knights because now he's right in the way of Korjov, which is fine.
Right. Yeah. So, but now this other sinkhole is going to have to bring them back together. But then Nalochlin gets to do a push with Chasm. But I think if he moves Nalochlin to the hex where the terror is, then the push from Chasm. No, we could still split them up. I don't know how Shmiaz can do this.
I don't even remember which hexes were pinged. This is quite difficult.
Yeah, so the terror pinged that hex. Yeah, where Chris is pointed. And then the chasm was on the blue hex. I think that's what they're talking about right now, is which hexes were the target spots.
Yeah, I think it was the hex where the terror now is standing in.
That's where the chasm is, but the
this is the chasm.
sinkhole, I think, was where Nalochlin used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So this is...
And still you would push Freihill, and you would push Korjov, and you would push Nalochlin. Okay, so I think they now resolved the...
Chris's one, yep.
The
so
sinkhole,
Chris decided to move over there. And so now we have Shmiaz's turn to do his sinkhole.
Okay.
Whoa. Here it comes. And yep, that makes sense. Going right there. Okay. So Freyhel goes over, Korjov comes down, and yes. So now, because of the sinkhole, Nalochlin cannot get pushed out of the sinkhole, so that chasm can only push Freyhel, basically.
Yeah. Yes, because it's not further away, and Korjov is therefore staying. Yeah, it's not further away, so you can't change.
So you can move the Silent Ambassador, you can move Freyhel. I think you have to actually technically move both those guys, but the important thing is Nalochlin's not going anywhere. Okay, and I think also the... I think also Silent Ambassador? No, we're doing the attack. Okay, it doesn't matter. Attack for enough. 5 damage. Boom! Let's go and talk to our friends, shall we?
Yes. Just give me a second to switch. Okay, there we go. Hello
wow, there. What a stack.
I need
yeah, good job. That was crazy.
Yeah. I need vitamin now. Because I am thinking too much. For a double sinkhole cross-set. It's very, very complicated, but...
It was very complicated. We're trying to explain, or guessing what's happening here, and by the time we got to the second sinkhole, we're like, I don't exactly know, maybe we'll just watch. And then the chasm came down after, and we're like, okay, guys. So that was awesome.
Yeah. I had to find the way to don't let Korjov push it, and yeah, my mistake, because if I chasm here for push Lakali here and don't plus sinkhole, I need to push Gulbjarn too, and so Gulbjarn is only
pushed out.
Yeah, so it's not. I have to think more for this, but fortunately I locked Nalochlin here or stops the Korjov attack.
So, Chris, did you consider starting your chain on the sacrifice, or you really didn't want the Korjov attack to happen? I probably right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's either gonna get me or he's not, and I have to do it when he's trying to get me. I think.
with the actual thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shmiaz,
I-
you didn't happen to. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, now looking at it, I don't know if we would have changed what would have happened. Like the chasm could have been here,
Yep.
and then I would have been able to move Nelklin here. But I don't know. He would just move Korchov here.
Well, I think he
don't
does the
know.
other thing where he can lock you in the top. Then, right? Like put the
Just
sinkhole
move
on the
it
top, so you can't
slightly.
get pushed top
Move it here
or down even. Right?
or like here.
Yeah, even lower. Right? He can retarget somewhere else, and so he could lock you, so you couldn't get pushed up. Maybe I don't know. I mean, there was an awful lot going on there with chasms and sinkholes. It's like, where does the blocking happen? Who gets pushed and everything? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not playing around double push in response. Like,
Shmiaz, you didn't happen to have Call the Week in your hand, did you?
No, not Call the Week.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have Mulligan a lot, and I don't know if you look at this, but I have Mulligan 4 cards to find this in opening hand, and it's very, very important because Gulbjarn take Frenzy to Korjov, and I have Frenzy fast and Shapeshift. And if Korjov play this, I keep my conditions for the second round, and I am pretty.
And if you keep getting into him, you could do it every single turn. Be a 6 attacker with fast, just
and
on wings,
and the +3 skirmish. So 3+ skirmish is a little rampant rated, right? And I have Scry a lot because I have played this card and Presence and this card too. Where is this one too? Yeah, exactly. To find this.
And he couldn't find it.
To find this. And this was my plan, right? To play the second point on the bloodlust.
Yami marked him too, so he would have had 4 conditions, which would have been 8 damage with
8
this.
damage.
Oh, yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I did mark him early the first round.
I mean, so it almost seems like your deck was kind of built around that, right? The Frenzy on because that's the best way to get Frenzy on Korjov, right? And then but you almost didn't take Korjov when you started. It looked like you were deciding between him and Shillavi when you started the game. What was your thought process there?
Probably when they Chris has picked Nelaklen, the best safe pick was Shillavi. But I have these cards on Korjov, and I am pretty excited to play them. So I have played Korjov, and I mean with the Bloodlust victory cards it's not so hard for Korjov or Freya. So I try to play for do that.
Yep. And Chris's deck, push it real good, did his job, right? He was going to win on turn 3. He just had to not lose something else.
Yeah, the other problem was I think the way I built it, so Cole had all the good push stuff and the move, like anti-move things, which would have been really good against him, honestly. And I didn't bring him. I probably should have split the cards between him and Nelklin or something. That coup slides, the granites, whatever the new thing, and then thorn roots.
Grasp of Granite.
Grasp of Granite. Yeah.
Grasp of Granite. Yeah.
Anti for power was my second plane, but because I have these cards too, in the deck, and with Freya is Strength of the Pain. In the second turn, I can play Strength of the Pain on Freya, and play this one with Astrida to let the frenzy on Freya, so I can impose the anti for power a lot. But I mean, if Priest doesn't have unbarrier rights, I have the Flux Wine Blast to destroy this tower. So yeah, it's of course when Priest has played unbarrier rights, I had to change my playing. But
yeah. So Shmiaz, when you did play that first sinkhole against Unburial Rights or against the Silent Ambassador, was that just a mistake on your part, or was there another reason?
To do that? Yeah, mistake. Yeah, total mistake. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, if he goes here, I just sent to the control token and play Amber Rights. I can't do nothing, right?
Yep.
So
yeah, exactly.
When I play sinkholes, he has to stay here because I have locked here. So if with the terror I can pull him. Okay, so he lost I don't remember what I was here and Nelakan was here, right? So I can pull all the lead he has here and with a lead of 3, my tower go to 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay. For this reason, Chris has to move Yami here to
Yami there,
to be sure to destroy the tower.
Mm.
But in this way, I destroy this tower too. I take that sider, and I can set up or anti for power on Bloodlust like I have done. This is
Sure.
my
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, getting the tower, I didn't even count it up to see that, but I just thought Yami was going over there partly because, like, the way that Chris was going to lose was because of either hunting for power or bloodlust, right? And so just get Yami away from Korjov.
Yep.
And
that was another good reason, right?
Yeah. And it was funny, before you activated the terror, Shmiaz, I was sitting over here talking to Zaraghul, and I was like, what, you could like have, used the push to get the Silent Ambassador into the dome, or whatever, or if Yami had stayed there, you could have done that. Like, but it'd really be nice if you could get Nalaklan in the dome, and you can't do it. And they're like, oh wait, that's what the outsider does. This is just wacky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and another thing that I can make to stay alive here to don't if he doesn't come with Yami was go here and push and slow to bot, and they lose to heroes.
Oh, you do have a way to save the lane. Very nice. Okay.
And with a lead of 3, I probably lost by 1 only because they this, and I have 1 minions, so they are 7, and I have 5.
7 to 1, yeah.
So
7 to 5.
1 damage
to the tower, so you get a whole nother round.
Yeah, and I have Wine Blast in hand to make safe less.
It's like the Wine Blast at the end.
Wow. So Terror of the Endless Night is OP, I guess, huh?
Well, I could swap them. If I use Silent, though, I could swap them at the end, I guess.
And fortunately, you don't do that because I don't remember if I can play Sinkhole in response to the Wormhole ability. So okay, don't do nothing wrong on the stream. Please don't do that.
I have to target a hero. I guess I could change, like, because the other one you don't have to target.
You don't target?
So there's no target with the second one. It's just within 4.
Yeah,
but you have to target the first one.
Okay.
So you target yourself or another one that you can target, but yourself would be the safer one. Also, I probably should have just brought 3 amulet. Originally, I had 3 amulet in my deck because I assumed he was going to be Terror Blue. It was just going to be pushed, so I was like, well, that's probably a good card as a 1 cost. Because I had all 3s in my hand on round 2, and I couldn't do anything other than Unburial. And I still have a bunch of 3s in my hand. I don't 3 ultimates that don't do anything.
I mean, if you're only going to have 1 2-cost card in your hand, though, Unburial's a pretty good one to have.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And I look at this. I have see this card on the discard pile. So I have played this one with Astrida
counters
to card of don't lose the shapeshift, right? It works. Right?
Oh, got it. That's why you did it. You weren't waiting for the next turn. You weren't digging for cards. You were just playing against that card. Very nice. Cool.
Yeah, I have prevented the remove condition on my core job, right? To attack the
right.
But I can just respond if he goes for it. So
got it. But you still get mana burned if he does have it. So, but yes.
I needed this third round. I needed a pillar near an Eloquent so I could down to earth with him on the activation and then use the chasm with what's her name?
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing is maybe Unburial for only 4 would have been better, right? I've had that same problem happen to me, right? Where I put all of them out and then I'm like, oh, I just need 1 pillar to do somebody's ability, right? Or something like that. So, but it's always like, man, it's a whole minion. Minions are worth a lot. So stuff.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
This is a very important day because the card of us make 2 kills and win the game. So the full card of the full card of says do something sometimes.
So what we're saying is, as long as the world is wacky, Korjov is good.
Yeah. In my opinion, yes. In my opinion, yes. The Korjov is good.
Well, it's fun.
Very funny game. Very funny game.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, C-Dubs, for the wonderful artwork that you put up here. I love the wacky format Sundays, and I'm sure when we have other scheduling problems, we'll do a different format in the future. So if anybody has any ideas, please just throw them out in the Skytear Sundays channel, and we'll get to them at some point.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Was really fun to watch and to commentate. So thanks, Eric, for being here with me, and thanks guys for that interesting game and entertaining game. For yeah, I really had a nice time being here with you. So
Thank you.
see you again soon. Bye
Yep,
bye.
see
Have
you.
a nice evening. Bye.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
See you.